So basically, I'm going to attempt to do this solo podcasting on YouTube because I believe that there's way too many like catchy titles and way too many retention grabbing edits instead of everything being a little bit more slower and taking a little bit more time and allowing the YouTuber to see your personality and not just see the edits, if you get what I mean. For example, Sam Sulek, he's a lot more calmer, he has very little editing, but people still like to watch him because he's relaxing, he knows what he's talking about, and sometimes having all of those edits is just a bit of a headache, in my opinion at least. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about, also look at the sun. Look how sunny the sun is. Like in the UK, we never get this type of weather. Like we get grey skies with cloudy skies. I feel like it's gonna be sunny for a week and then it's gonna turn into rain. I hope not. I hope I'm wrong, but it is the UK, so I wouldn't be surprised. Anyway, I wanted to talk about why it's okay to be bored and why you shouldn't be on your phone like all the time, because there's been a lot of people who have made crazy good ideas from being bored, from famous creators who have embraced boredom into their work. For example, did you know that J.K. Rowling actually created the idea for Harry Potter when she was on a delayed train, which is crazy because that's when her mind decided to wander, and that's when she got the idea. So I feel as though that we shouldn't all just be on TikTok all the time, trying to kill our dopamine or trying to fill boredom with TikToks or with Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts or whatever people be watching. Instead, we should just try and build our dopamine again and try and build our retention again, and we try and make it so that we don't need fast grabbing edits or fast grabbing content to stay on a video for a while. Because really, if you really have a deep conversation, or if you have a deep think about it, social media platforms are designed to provide intermittent rewards like likes or shares or comments, which show our brains that this is positive behavior, which means that we'd want to do more and more of it because it would reinforce the behavior. But in reality, that's not a good way of thinking. That type of thinking is what ruins your brain, right? Like you should be able to make content or make the content that you like without it needing likes. Now obviously if it's a full-time job, or if you're a creator, then that's a different thing, right? You need likes, or you need like a certain amount of likes or comments for your video to get exposure so you can get paid, right? But I'm guessing that people that are watching this, like myself, I'm not doing this for a full-time job, so it's okay if you're not getting that many views as long as you're doing what you like or you're doing the craft that you like, which in that case should be enough, right? That should be enough, right? As long as you're improving the videos, you shouldn't be chasing the views or the comments or whatever else there is, and that ties in with what I was talking about before when I was talking about the psychology behind social media addiction, because just because getting likes and comments isn't what we want, right? Like getting likes and comments, to be very honest with you, the type of content that you would probably like to make no matter what is very little niches out there where you'll need to do like retention grabbing edits, or whereas you can allow yourself to just talk, right? Because that's the whole point of social media. It was called YouTube, right? It was supposed to be a way for you to talk to your audience, but nowadays with all these edits and all these channels, it's like there's no personality. The personality is devoid from the content, and like I said we shouldn't be on our phones checking for TikToks or checking for Instagram Reels or checking for all these types of stuff, but the problem is that we are on our phones because we have FOMO, we have fear of missing out. right? Like we want to be connected to the internet because we want to see the latest trends. We don't want to be like fall behind in our social groups. But is that really how you want to live your life, right? Like, there's more to life than just scrolling on TikTok and trying to keep up with the latest trends. Instead of doing that, you know, because we should be growing our hobbies, because that's the most important thing, right? Like, instead of scrolling through TikTok or Instagram or whatever, I feel like it's better to just go and do what you like to do and just keep doing that instead, because in that way you'll carry on improving your skills as a person, you'll carry on becoming a better person. Whereas if you're just scrolling through TikTok or Instagram or whatever, you're not going to become a better person, right? You're not going to develop these skills. And of course, life isn't just about becoming a better person. It's also not about just scrolling your life away, you know. So you just have to find that middle ground between the two. But you know, I say all that, but what's the alternative thing to do? What's a way that you can develop yourself? And you know, one thing that I've been doing, is that, for example, in the morning, I know that if my phone is near my bed, if my phone is near me, I know I will jump on my phone and I will start scrolling away, and I will stay in bed for about 2 or 3 hours because I wanna keep scrolling through TikTok, and obviously that's not good. So how I fixed my problem from bed drawing in the morning was that I put my phone away from me. So I put it in. We have like this a whole hallway between my room and the bathroom. So I put it in between there. So I know that I will have to get out of bed, get out the door to get my phone, and at that time I probably won't go back to bed to doom scroll or to bed draw. So that's one way. That's one way that I've done it. Another way from this book I've been reading is called Atomic Habits, where the author, he basically goes on to say that in a military school, I think it was military school or summer camp, it was something like that, I'm not too sure. But basically the message was that in the mornings when it was about 9 or 10 a.m. Or no, it was 6 a.m. Sorry, it was 6 a.m. If the recruit was not woken up, ice cold water was thrown on them. So they knew that by 6 o'clock they had to wake up, otherwise ice cold water would be thrown at them. So obviously we don't want ice cold water to be thrown at us. But basically what I was telling you is that if you punish yourself for not doing the right thing, for example, if you know that you have to be up by 9 or 10 or whatever, if you're not up by that time, then you could give yourself a punishment which you know that you wouldn't want to do, right? And that's why we're probably awake before work, because we know that if we become late into work, we could get like something could happen to us, like we'd get a telling off, and we don't want to get a telling off. That's why we go into work at the right time. That's why we wake up at the right time. So you can do a punishment similar to that. And by the way, I'm not trying to sell myself as some sort of genius or some guy who never uses his phone. I'm always on my phone. Like, I'm trying to improve right now, but like I'm always scrolling through TikTok. I'm always scrolling to Instagram Reels. I'm always doom scrolling. I'm not good at staying away from my phone. I'm just trying to say that I think we should all make an effort to be a better person, or to be better in general. And it's like a real shame, because I see amazing people every day. I have friends who are really, really good at certain skills that they have, but if they just apply themselves, they would be able to make a lot of money from these skills. Or not even a lot of money, they'd just be able to live off these hobbies that they have. But it's really unfortunate, because they're doomed, they're glued to their screens. So it just makes me feel really upset in a sense, because I want these people to do good for themselves. I want these people to, do better for themselves. But if they're stuck on their screens, you know, they won't get anywhere. And I know I'm saying this, and my friends do watch this. They'll probably be laughing because I'm just as bad as them. But like I was saying, it's just about making effort, right? Like we all just need to take the correct steps. It's not about being perfect. It's about trying, like, right. And by the way, I'm gonna go a bit off topic here. I'm not gonna stay on topic, but I'm doing this without a script. I'm doing this without any like sort of pointers, so to speak. So this is like my first time doing that. Normally I'd have like a script behind, or I'll have a script on my phone or whatever, and I'll be editing in between. But this is the first time that I'm just talking naturally. Hope it's not too like jittery, and I hope there's not too many edits, because I don't want it. I will make some like minimal edits, because I don't want them, because if I didn't make edits, it'll just be like this. Do you know what I mean? Because it takes me some time to think about what I want to say next, or to think about the next point I want to say. Sorry, probably I should have made like at least some pointers, but I just decided just to go for it, just to set up the camera and start recording. I'm doing all this. I'm probably gonna get like 5 views, but it is what it is. I'm just trying to get the recording time up until 30 minutes, because that means that I've improved my talking skills or my communication skills. But the actual edit would probably be more closer to about 10 minutes or 8 to 10 minutes, because of all the pauses in between and stuff. So yeah, what was I talking about anyway? This is like my first time doing this without a script, so hopefully it isn't too bad. But I've decided to come outside, because the weather outside is like, whoa, like it's actually sunny. I'm saying this now, it's actually just started to get darker. I've really just jinxed it, but it is what it is. It is Ramadan today. It's been I think it's the 8th day of Ramadan. I am a practicing Muslim, so I am participating in Ramadan. But Ramadan is it's not as hard as it used to be, but the sleep is so hard to get my sleep right, because you have to wake up in the morning for Sahri, and so for me that's about 45 minutes, which is quite a long time to eat. But I do 45 minutes, because I know I like to take a long time. I like to take my time to eat. And I don't eat a lot. I eat a little bit, but I like to slowly eat, if that makes sense. But like I was saying, it's really hard to get my sleep right, because after Sahri, then obviously it's the morning prayer, Fajr, and then after that you go asleep, and then you have to wake up another couple hours later for uni. And then obviously after uni, you'd probably want to go back asleep or take a nap, because staying awake for that long is quite difficult. Obviously staying awake for that amount of time is quite difficult, and I've had knockouts straight away after uni, because like I said, the time my sleep is just not on point. And then obviously after that we have iftari. I'm just talking about food. I promise the fast isn't hard. Like the fast, it isn't that hard. Like the actual hunger part, that's quite easy, because I really just pace myself. And a lot of people, what they do is they eat a lot of food at iftari, and that means that they eat because obviously you fasted from sunrise till sunset. You'll be peckish, right? You'll be hungry. So what they do is they eat actually a lot more than they should, which makes them sluggish, and that also makes them not want to eat for the rest of the night, which is obviously a bad thing, because you should eat for like consistently for the rest of the night, so you can actually have the energy and replenish your energy. Because if you just eat a lot at once at iftari, at the start of iftari, then the rest of your days will just be very, very sluggish, and it'll be very hard for you to actually fast. My phone was about to fall then. But so that's why you want to actually take your time when you're eating, and really pace yourself. And it's the same for sehri. You really don't want to have like a big lunch for sehri, because then it won't be good for you. And secondly, that's not what Ramadan's about, right? Like Ramadan is about actually kind of starving yourself, because then you know what people around the world are going through. Because it doesn't matter how hungry we are in Ramadan or how hungry we are when we're fasting, we know that we're gonna have iftari at the end of the night, right? Like we know that we are gonna have food on the table at the end of the night. Whereas there's people in much poorer countries who don't know what they're gonna eat tomorrow, or what they're gonna eat later on, So it's very difficult for them just on a day-by-day basis, because they have to choose between medicine or food, It makes you, Ramadan really does make you think about that. It really does make you think about everyone else in the world and the lesser fortunate in the world. Oh damn, I'm just looking at it now. My screen is very, very grey right now. I just realized it's gone much darker than it was earlier. I think it's only at 26 minutes. It's gonna be about 27 in a second, but I really do think I should probably end the video here, because by the end of this, I think my video, my face is just going to be fully dark, and the whole video is going to be black, which is obviously not what we want. Anyways, that's been my solo podcast. I've just been yapping for about an hour, half an hour even. And yeah, man, that's everything. I hope this does get some views, even though I've just said that we shouldn't care about views, and we shouldn't. But I do hope it does get views though. But like I said, if it doesn't, that's fine, because but if it doesn't, that's fine, because that was my whole point. I'm not trying to contradict myself at the end here. Anyways, that's everything. Another thing I've been doing recently is I've been comparing myself a lot, which is really not a good thing, because you shouldn't really. Another thing with social media does is it really makes you compare yourself with others, which is really just not a good thing. Like, for example, when I was scrolling on social media earlier, I seen this 16-year-old kid who was very, very talented and very, very good at editing, and I'm just thinking to myself, what have I done for these past 4 years, and what have I got to show for it? Whereas I'm only 20 years old. So it isn't, I shouldn't be thinking like that, basically, is what I'm trying to say. But it does make me feel like I'm wasting my life, and I should be being more productive, and I should be more productive. I'm not saying I shouldn't, but it shouldn't be. I shouldn't be more productive to beat others. I should be more productive to beat my past self. You shouldn't compare yourself with others, especially when they're doing the wrong type of things. Because what's going to happen is you're going to turn 25 and you're going to say, well, if I was 20 I should have done this. Or you're going to turn 30 and you're going to think, if I was 25 I should have done this. Or you're going to turn 40 and you're going to think, if I was 30 I should have done this. And that's going to keep eating you alive for the rest of your life. So instead of doing all of that, you should just say to yourself, okay, I want to make a change today for tomorrow. And even if it's just a little bit every single day, that's fine. I've decided to keep recording because I I decided to keep recording because I wanted to hit that 30-minute mark, and now that 30-minute mark has came. So that's about everything I have to say today. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. If you did, that's lovely. Bye.